Party. Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, Miss Alma. How are you? Good morning, Miss Cassandra. Happy Monday. Good morning, Miss Carlotta. Good morning, Miss Janicia. Good morning, Mr. Kira. Good morning, Miss Nisi, baby. Good morning, Miss Sunshine. Good morning, Miss April. Good morning. Good morning. I have a little cold, so excuse my voice. Your girl, the Houston weather finally got me. I didn't even work out this morning. I just laid in bed. Actually, yesterday was the first day I have not closed my rings or completed my 10K steps all of February. So I was kind of disappointed, but my body was like, girl, sit down. The cold took me over. Good morning, Miss Andrea. Good morning, Miss On an Island. So, good morning, everyone. I'll give it one more minute and then I'll get started because I was kind of slow this morning moving. Happy Monday, everyone. I, yeah, Miss Cassandra, I definitely did. I was like, you don't need to try to push yourself because I had only did like maybe 4,000 steps or three something. I was girl, sit down. So I listened. I didn't sleep well because I was all stopped up. So I'm gonna drink some tea after we get off of here. Then I made me some tea last night and burnt myself. I spilled the hot water on my hand. Girl. Don't know who you are. All right, so let's get started. It is day 6. Yay! So, day 6 is the feminine heart. Good morning, Miss Angie. Strength in softness. So, our Bible verse is Esther 4:4, and it says, when Esther's maids and eunuchs came and told her about Mordecai, she was deeply distressed. Good morning, Miss Gail. Our devotion is Esther showed compassion and tenderness, yet remain strong. Femininity balances gentleness with inner strength. Our affirmation is my strength is in my grace, wisdom, and kindness. Good morning, Ms. Gail. Our action step is respond to a challenge today with patience instead of frustration. And our journal prompt is how can you balance strength and softness in your daily life? So, first of all, I want to say this verse showed me more than just balancing strength and softness, which is the theme for this devotion. It showed me loyalty. Esther was very loyal. Esther got into the kingdom, became the queen, and she could have just went on about her business. She could have been like, this doesn't concern me. So Mordecai was upset because this evil man, Haman, he had decided that he was going to destroy the Jews. He didn't like the Jews. He was going to destroy them. He went to the king. He offered up some money and I think something else. And from what I was reading, and he said, listen, these people are no good to you. They worship different than us. Let me kill him off. And I mean, he was a killer. He wanted to, Lord, I hope I don't get dinged, but he wanted to get rid of women, children. He didn't care. And then he said, whoever you got rid of, you could take their stuff. So that was like an incentive. He gave the king money, plus he said, whoever you got rid of, you could have their stuff. So the king, y'all know he wasn't a godly man. So he didn't care. He went ahead and took the money, said, do what you want to do. So there was this decree that went about the kingdom that if you were these people, March 7th, you were going to die. So Mordecai found out about this. Now y'all understand that Esther entered the kingdom never saying her heritage, never saying her nationality, that she was Jewish and, that she worshiped differently or anything like that. She was told to keep it quiet, and she had kept it quiet all of that time. So when she found out how upset Mordecai was, she sent someone to say, well, what's going on? Why are you upset? She also sent him, let me just grab my Bible so we can read the verse here. It says, when Queen Esther's maids and eunuchs came and told her about Mordecai, she was deeply distressed. She sent clothing to him to replace the burlap, but he refused. Because when he was upset, he went ahead and like tore off his clothes and, just was showing his distress, right? So she was like, go send him some clothes. But that did not comfort him. He refused the clothes. He didn't care. He was like, listen, Esther, you're one of us. And this decree can't affect you. You can die from this. And maybe Esther had children by this point. We don't know. But you could die. Your relatives can die. So something's got to be done. And Esther was scared. She was like, I can't go before the king just because I want to. The whole thing was if she went before the king without him calling for her. Remember what we said? Don't come for me unless I send for you. If she did that, she was likely to die. That was the law, right? So she was like, "Good morning, Miss Valika." She was like, "What am I can't just go to this man, and we already know he had a reputation for being cuckoo." So she was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's when Mordecai was like, hey, you could end up dying. They could find out who you are. Good morning, Miss Nisa, honey. And you can die. And so when she really sat and she thought about all of this, and this is what Mordecai also told her. He told her, you may have been made queen to save us. You may have been made queen, and he says, who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this. Basically, he was telling her, you may have been put into this position for this particular mission, okay? And so she decided, let's fast and pray so I can gain favor from the Lord, and I'm going to go see the king. And if I die, I die. She was willing to put her life on the line. She was like, if I die, I die, because she wanted to save her people. So that's kind of the backstory of what happened. Esther was loyal. Okay, it may have took a little bit to get her to that point, because that's scary. Like when somebody's gonna tell you, um, you're gonna die, but I need you to even go through this obstacle to even save us. It's kind of scary. But she decided that this is what she was going to do. Not before, not after, but right now, right? God's timing. Exactly, Miss Ona Island 7. I got what you're saying. But the main thing, besides loyalty, because I just wanted to mention that, because I think loyalty has been lost on us as a people. It's like no new friends, everyone's out for themselves and da da da. And, I'm not saying that we should not be self-centered, meaning yes, we should mind our business and focus on our family and ourselves, but God also calls us for fellowship. He also calls us for community. He calls us for things as being concerned and compassionate and tender and loyal and all of those things. And so we have to remember, as feminine women, we are called to be soft, but we are also called to have strength. And so how do we balance that? Like, what does that look like? Because, of course, all we hear now is soft life, soft life, soft life. And I absolutely love the soft life. And I believe that any woman married, doesn't have to do with you being married or single or any of those things. I believe that you can have the soft life because you are God's daughter, right? He doesn't intend for a lot of things that we put ourselves through for us to go through, but we choose that sometimes. So I looked up some things that, if my computer will work, um, I said, how can women of faith balance strength and softness? And basically, it was saying that that is what we are called to do, to have that particular balance in our life, right? And it was saying that Esther is a perfect example of this balance. She displayed courage in action, but moved with wisdom, humility, and grace. She wasn't hasty, okay? She didn't like tear her hair out and her clothes out like Mordecai did. She said, wait a minute, wait a minute. It's got to be a solution to this problem. I'm going to seek the Lord, okay? Um, I say no one can save you, right? No one can save you. You have to save yourself. But the caveat to that is you you got to find God. He's the only one who can give you the strength and the power and the authority to save yourself, okay? Um so balancing strength and softness as a woman of faith is about embracing the fullness of your femininity, being resilient yet graceful, bold yet gentle, firm in faith yet tender in spirit. So, here are some ways that you can cultivate this balance. You can walk in a quiet confidence, okay? You know your worth in Christ. You stand firm in who Jesus says you are right here in this book, okay? And you don't let anyone deter you from that. You stand firm in that, right? But you don't try to fight for validation. You're not trying to prove yourself to other people. You understand the power of God's favor and you rest in that. So that is how you can walk in quiet confidence. Confidence is not loud. When you see someone who is confident, you're not like, the with real confidence, the person that moves with real confidence, you're never like that person's never loud, that person's never boisterous. You just see it in them, right? And it draws you near to them, right? That is a person that walks in quiet confidence. That is a person that knows who and whom they are. And as feminine women, we have to rest in knowing who we are. We don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to seek validation. It already says who we are, and we just claim that and hold strong to that. So, speak. Good morning, Miss Natarsa. Speak with wisdom and grace. So, this says be intentional with your words. Speak with clarity and conviction, okay? Your word is your word. Again, y'all know I'm not a Bible scholar, but your yes is your yes, right? Your no is your no. And that's it, that's all, okay? But you do not have to be aggressive, right? That's where the softness comes in. You can be gentle with your words. Hey, that doesn't fit me for right now where I'm at in life, right? You can be warm, okay? You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be harsh in saying your yes or your no, okay? You don't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make this happen, da 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 da. Sometimes, and God has really been telling me this, sometimes you just gotta be quiet. Okay? You just gotta be quiet and you just gotta walk the walk, okay? And not necessarily talk it, just walk it. So one thing that you could do before you say something, ask yourself, is this wise? Is it kind? And is it necessary? Because, sometimes we just be, and we don't need to be saying all of that. We just need to, again, say yes or say no. And really, an explanation is not owed, okay? Set boundaries with love. Um, yeah, you have to understand everyone does not deserve access to your time and your energy. Good morning, Miss DG. It's just, and here's the verse, Matthew 5:37. Let your yes be yes and your no no. In case y'all, let me write that down, because your girl be forgetting. But yes, let your yes be yes, your no be no. Everyone doesn't deserve access to your time and energy as a feminine woman of faith. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. This cold is. Okay, excuse me. So the soft way to do this is to have boundaries, which we've talked about a whole bunch of times. Have boundaries, but don't just have those boundaries, enforce those boundaries, okay? A lot of times we say, this is our boundary, but then we let people, bend it. Enforce your boundaries. You can enforce your boundaries with love and kindness, okay? You don't have to get defensive. You don't have to be mean about it. You can say, hey, that's not something that I do as a woman of faith, and leave it at that. Remember I told y'all about the story the other weekend of the man having me take his picture, and me and my husband, I don't know how we got on that subject again, talking about it. And I was like, yeah, your best friend told me to just say that. My husband's crazy. I can't do that. And he was like, why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he wasn't paying attention when his best friend said that before. But he was like, why would you say that? He said, why you just can't say I just don't do that? And I had to give it to him. He was like, if a woman was to ask me, he was like, I would just be like, I'm married. I just don't do that. And I was like, you know what? That's a good answer. I won't tell people you crazy. That's a good answer. But that is enforcing your boundaries gently. That is enforcing your boundaries with kindness. Hey, I'm married. I don't do that. Okay? I don't do that. And that's it. That's it. That's all, right? It says that if someone oversteps your boundaries, you can kindly but firmly say, I appreciate your concern. This is good, but I need to honor my time and well being right now. I'm going to say that again. I appreciate your concern, but I need to honor my time and well being right now. Y'all write that down because that was good. All right. Serve without losing yourself. Okay. And this is kind of what Esther was doing in this particular verse. Thank you, Miss April. You can serve others without being drained. God calls us to pour out, but also to refill ourselves. And he says this in Mark 6:31. Come with me by yourself to a quiet place and get some rest. 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 He doesn't require for you to do it all. He doesn't require for you to be overworked and overwhelmed as a feminine woman. No, no, no. You can approach service with joy and not obligation. That is how we should be doing things. Remember, we are supposed to do things out of the kindness of our heart. We are supposed to be cheerful givers. And that just doesn't mean cheerful givers of our money, but also of our time and our energy, right? A soft heart serves with love, not burn out. Okay? No. You do not get burned out. Even God doesn't want you to be burned out from doing his work. Okay? He doesn't want you to be overwhelmed. He doesn't want you to be overworked. He calls for you to pour out, but he also calls for you to be refilled. And you should also, from what it's saying here, yes, that's good, huh? Schedule a refilling time after you serve others. So, after you spend your day serving whatever it is that you were called to do, make sure that you refill your cup, whether it's getting quiet and just resting, praying, getting into your word, practicing a hobby. Whatever it is, make sure that you refill your cup after you pour out. Handle conflict with grace. And I'm sorry if this lesson is a little long this morning, but it came up with all, when I was researching this, it came up with all of this. And I think it's just important to share. So, if you have to get off, I understand. This will be on the replay for you. But handle conflict with grace, strengthen boundaries, softness in delivery. So stand firm in your values. You are not afraid to correct or speak the truth, okay? But you speak it in love. You avoid defensiveness, okay? You approach conflict with a calm, graceful demeanor, okay? You don't get defensive when you feel like someone has wronged you. You simply do something else, okay? You don't let your emotions, thank you, Miss Malika. You don't let your emotions get the best of you, okay? We have to practice emotional maturity and emotional intelligence as feminine women, as women of faith, and also as seasoned women, okay? We should not be out here flying off of the handle. We should not be out here getting defensive or making assumptions. We should be taking the time to think about things, okay? And once we think about things, respond with wisdom rather than emotion. I caught a question when you're done. That's off topic. Okay, no problem. So what it said here as a step that you can do is practice the 3-second rule. If you feel like someone is coming at you wrongly, okay, and you feel like, okay, I need to correct this person, stay calm, breathe, pause, think about what you're going to say. And I say, even because I do this all the time, Lord, give me the right words to say. Let me say this in a way that they see you and not me. That's my prayer all the time when I know I have to speak on things or say something. And, God will give you the right words. He will have you respond in wisdom. Remember, we said last week, I think that was last week, if you ask for wisdom, he'll give it to you every time. Keep asking for it, okay? And he will definitely give it to you. Trust in God's timing. Someone mentioned that earlier. Have the faith to wait. I love that. Do you have the faith to wait? My husband was saying like, he was saying I was spoiled. Basically, we were on our way to the mall, and I was saying something, and he was like, "You know what? You spoiled, and I'm responsible for that." And I don't argue with the truth. Yeah, I am. And I told him it's simply that I believe as long as the good Lord says I can have it, I can have it, and it does not bother me that I don't have it right now. Okay, I ain't saying you gotta go out and get this today. I ain't saying I gotta go out and get this today or I gotta have this today. I know if the good Lord says that I can have it, baby, I can wait. It's gonna happen. I ain't tripping. I'm gonna go through life with a smile on my face. I've been doing this and it works like a charm. Also, I pause, get silent, think about the response and it works. It's very good. Yes, I do. Yes. So listen, it doesn't bother me when someone tells me no, okay? It used to back in the day because I thought that was the end all, the be all. But if God says that you can have something, nothing can keep you from that. Nothing. And when you understand that, baby, you are powerful. You can move with patience. The faith that you display in waiting, God rewards that. So Have the faith to wait, okay? God's plans require trust and patience. Um, Use waiting seasons to prepare and refine yourself rather than resist them. When God says yes, that's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. So it says use waiting seasons to prepare and refine yourself. I know I often speak to single women when I am speaking on threads, and I posted this weekend, and I was saying, like I had told y'all on Saturday, I put that on threads that when my husband found me, I was living, right? And I don't mean he found me on the street. Y'all know I met him on a dating site. And I had to clarify that for some women because they literally thought that he found me somewhere, which he did. He found me on a dating site. But anyway, I was living. I was using my single season to do whatever it is that I wanted to do. Because let me tell you, when you get in a marriage, you are now in a partnership. You are now bound to someone. Y'all are now one. So you can't just be out here doing whatever it is you want to do. It don't work like that, okay? So while you are single, appreciate the fact that you can. You can buy whatever you want to buy. You could go wherever you want to go, and you don't answer to anyone but God, right? Now, if He says no, but okay. So use that time to enjoy those things, to build up your like what I was saying the other week about self-care. Now, while you are single, is the time to really just go deep in self-care. Because when you get married, especially if you have children or if you decide to have children once you are married, you are going to be giving to them. And it's not going to be a choice, okay? You are going to have to give to them, okay? They're going to want your time, they're going to want your attention, and whatever else you have to offer them. And so you really need to be taking the time right now to pour into yourself before you have to pour out to others. And I'm not saying pour out like crazy where you stress yourself out or, something like that. But you're going to have to pour out. You're going to have to pour out. That is what you do as a wife and a mother. And so now take the time to really dive deep into self-care. When you know how to treat you, you won't accept anything less. And so absolutely, I'm appreciating the season of singleness because I know God is soon going to put me in the path of my husband. I'm embracing this season until God says otherwise. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, I have faith in waiting, okay? They want all your time. That's right, Miss Angie. They want all your time. So while you are single, appreciate that, and prepare. Get into your self-care. Get into doing all the things that you wanted to do. Because when you get with someone else, y'all have to make decisions together. And this person may be like, this ain't the time. We don't have the money. We have this other project ahead of this, whatever the case may be. And so you are going to be, like I said, with someone, and y'all are going to become one. You're not going to be a single woman anymore. So take this time to really prepare, refine yourself, get into self-care and all of those things, okay, while you're in your waiting season. Also, ask God what He's teaching you, okay? Don't look at it as a delay or a denial. Ask Him what He wants you to learn in this season of your life. Ask God what lesson are you teaching me, okay? Because I want to pass it. I say that all the time. Growing up, my mom would always say, you ain't passed that lesson. That's why you had to learn it again. I don't want to keep learning the same lessons, okay? So, Lord, what's the lesson and what I need to do to pass? Okay. Cultivate a peaceful presence. Be unshakable in trials. We ask Him, He's teaching me. Ooh, Lord. I feel you, Miss April. I feel you. So cultivate a peaceful presence, strengthen composure, softness in energy. Be unshakable in trials. A truly strong woman is rooted in peace, not anxiety. And basically, that's what I was saying. Like when people tell me no, or when things don't look like I want them to look, I don't get upset anymore about it. Y'all know my story. Y'all know what I've been through. Them telling you you might not make it, that gives you some strength, especially when you do make it. And you're like, you know what? I always used to tell, and this probably is bad to say, but I always used to tell people, and I used to tell my ex boyfriend this, and he would say something or do something, and I'd be like, listen, sir, I overcame cancer. I can overcome pretty much anything. Pretty much. Now, I ain't saying everything, but because, some things happen. But I was like, I can overcome pretty much anything. And that has always been my attitude since going through that. Like, I stand firm that, you know what, we're not going to speak this, or this is not going to happen this way, or whatever the case may be. I root myself in knowing that God can come through, okay? He can come through. And because of that, I feel like I can get through whatever. Now, he may not come through the way that I imagine it. And that is the part where you have to surrender to whatever his will is and his timing and how he wants things to play out. But I know that in the end, like I always tell y'all, everything is working out for my highest good and yours as well. So bring gentle warmth to those around you. Peace is felt more when it is spoken. And that is true. When you are able to stand strong and be like, hey, we're not going to let this overcome us. We are not going to let this shake us or throw us off our game, or whatever it is that you say. You bring a calmness to people. You let people know that your faith can also be the little mustard seed that they can hold on to as well and have their faith grow. All right, so carry yourself with dignity, okay? Strength and posture, softness and movement. Move with confidence. Stand tall. Ugh, y'all have me slumped over, but stand tall. Walk with purpose and own your space, okay? Don't let people see you sweat in that way, okay? I'm standing on the promises of God. Amen. Don't let people see you broken. You are the king's daughter. You stand up tall, you hold your head high, and you walk with the confidence of knowing that he has got you, that you have the favor, that you have whatever it is that you need in order to move throughout this world, okay? And because of that, you can be graceful, you can be poised, you can be soft and feminine. Be bold, yet gentle in love. Do not settle for relationships that dishonor you, because you know your worth. Again, as I've been saying throughout this, you are the king's daughter. There is no reason for you to accept less than what you desire or deserve. Period. When you do that, you take up space for what God really has for you. Thank you, Miss Sunshine. You take up space for what has truly been promised to you. And believe me, it is so much better than what you think it is, okay? Dang, I wonder if I wrote that down. Let me see. I have wrote something down. I don't know. I thought I had wrote it down. But what you think is good may not be God's best, okay? You may think that this is good enough, but it is not God's best for you. We want to move from it being good enough to God's best. And I know that women do this in relationships because, and I'm just keep it real with y'all because I have been there. We have a scarcity mindset, right? Um, Especially, and I'm just gonna speak for me, as someone that was in her 40s, had already been married, had 4 kids, you don't hear that a lot nowadays, right? And then when I had been through a serious illness, it is easy going through all of that to let the world tell you what it is that you deserve rather than asking God and being firm in that you deserve the best, okay? The person that I was with before, that was just good enough. Like, he treated me well, it was cool and all of that, but there were certain things that I wanted that he did not want to give me. And that was not God's best, okay? That wasn't going to allow for us to move forth in life. And I had to say at one point, you know what, let this go. And even when he came back and promised me he could give me those things, I had to say, you know what, I don't trust that. I'm a trust in God, and I'm a let, because at that point I had started dating my husband. We weren't well, he was serious, but I wasn't quite serious yet. And I had to trust that, you know what, this is what God wants me to do, not go back. He doesn't want me to go back. Okay. And even though I had a lot of guilt behind that because my ex was with me while I was sick, okay, he took care of me, he was my caretaker, he was in my life doing all of these things, taking care of me, my family, and all of that. So I had a lot of guilt behind making that decision, but I knew he was just good enough. He wasn't God's best. Okay. And I was like, I can't, I'm a stick with this that God has shown me. And I'm going to keep it moving. Let go of what is not for you. God cannot bless you with his best if we hold on to what we think is it. Amen. Speaking of my life. Yes. So, confirmation, baby. I don't know. But, yeah. You have to determine that you are not going to settle. One thing I always say is you lack nothing, okay? You lack nothing. You are the king's daughter. You lack nothing. So don't let people tell you, oh, well, you're this and you're that, and, put their scarcity thinking on to you. You serve a God that provides abundance, not just enough, abundance, right? So why would you listen to them? Why would you let them put that on you? Stop going for good enough and wait on God's best. Okay? I could tell you 100 times over that there is a lot of people who never thought that I could get married to the man that I got married to. A man that would say, you know what? I'm going to take care of you and your children. I'm going to make sure you're good. Hey, you've already been through all of this stuff. If you don't want to work anymore, don't worry about it. I got you. And if you do want to work, we'll just use that money for something else. You ain't got to worry about no bills. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It was so funny. Yesterday we were we were going to Walmart to get a couple of things. I'm actually starting a detox today. And so, you're going down the parking lot to try to find parking. And there was this lady and this guy, and my husband got upset because the guy was walking on the inside and the lady was walking on the outside. So when we were coming up, it was kind of like a narrow lane. It was kind of crowded. And he was like, you need to be, what kind of man is that? He was like, you need to be walking on the outside. And how you going to be with a man like he was upset with both of them. I was like, sir, calm down. Calm down, okay? Calm down. But that is just the kind of man that I have. He's like, he teases me all the time because I'll be like I was opening a pill bottle and you can tell I was struggling with it. And I'm used to him not being here. So he's here right now. He's actually leaving out tomorrow morning. But so I'm trying to open the pill bottle and he's like standing next to me waiting for me to ask him for help. And finally I got it open, right? And he was like, so you just want to be that strong, independent woman, don't you? I was like, oh no, I didn't say I was sorry, but I was like, no, I'm just used to you not being here. And so he was like, so you just gonna struggle with the pill bottle? You just wasn't gonna let daddy do it? Huh? That's personal, but anyway, yeah. So you can have God's best. It may require for you to wait on it. It may require for you to reject. Okay, that's a hard one. We don't want to reject things, but it may require for you to reject things. It may require for you to have tunnel vision and move past other people's thoughts on you, projection. Thank you, Miss Honor Island, projection on you. But you can have God's best instead of just good enough. Our Father's abundance, and as His children, we lack nothing. Nothing. We get to have it all. It is our birthright. Amen. All right. So love deeply, forgive freely, create a safe space for love to flourish, but do not settle. Okay. And walk in your purpose. Strength in action, softness in surrender. Ooh, surrender. That's something y'all know I work on daily. Step boldly into what God has called you to do. Your purpose is powerful. And this leads us back to what we said in Esther 4:14. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position, you have become queen for such a time as this. Okay? Your purpose is powerful, whatever that purpose is. I am still asking God to, I think maybe I'm on the right path of what my purpose is, but I'm still asking God to confirm that. I'm still surrendering to God what his idea of what that looks like. And what this says as far as the softness portion of it is, trust that God will open the right doors. You will not need to force anything. Surrender that pill bottle. Girl, I was struggling with that pill bottle too. You do not need to force anything when you are seeking your purpose or living in your purpose. You don't have to force anything. He already has it laid out, right? And so you just need to trust in that and to surrender to His will, okay? I think that it's good for us to have expectations. I think it's good for us to set intentions. I think it's good for us to visualize things. But what I implore you to do, instead of thinking about the path, visualize the destination, okay? You want to get married. We know that God says marriage is good and that it can happen for you. Visualize living in your home, not necessarily what your husband looks like. Maybe him calling you on the phone and saying, baby, what we eating for dinner tonight? Maybe, you opening up the mail with thank you notes, or not thank you notes, but like maybe you setting your wedding invitations or things like that, right? Think of those things. Don't think about the path to get here and what he's gonna look like and all of that kind of stuff, okay? I know it's I know I be on TikToking, right? And so old girl was talking about how her title was, and I think this was clickbait. I am not attracted to my husband. That was her title. But as you listen to what she was saying, you got what she was saying. Now, me personally, I would never have gotten on the internet and said that I was not attracted to my husband. Now, I may have said that he was not my type, but I would not have said I wasn't attracted to him, because I would never want my husband to come across this and think, well, then, because visuals are important to men, sometimes they think that that's important to women. And to be honest, we can love a man that we may not initially be attracted to depending on how he treats us, right? So I would never get on the internet and say that I wasn't attracted to my husband. I actually was. My husband is actually very attractive in my opinion. He was not my type though, right? He wasn't who I usually go for. in some ways. He has the cowboy aesthetic. He's very straightforward. He cusses. He does. It's a lot of different things that I was like, I don't know. But I am so happy that I was open to pursue that further. I told y'all, I think I told y'all the story that I thought my husband was like homeless when I met him. And that's not a slight to him. It's just based on the pictures that I saw, right? I was like, is this man, every picture was in a hotel room or his truck. I'm like, is this man homeless? Like, but I went out with him anyway because I was in a season that I was open to however God was going to make things play out for us. He was going to make it play out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to be me doing anything. It was going to be me surrendering to how God wants this to look like, baby, because I was tired. I was tired of doing stuff in my own strength. And sometimes it takes us to get there, to be tired of doing things in our own strength, to finally surrender. And your girl was tired. I was like, no. Hey, you want me to go out with this man, God? He asked me out, you know what I'm saying? He was like, let's do this. And he kept asking me out. He kept making plans and doing things. And, I enjoyed his time. Again, I thought he was attractive, but he just wasn't what I had pictured for myself, right? But he turned out to be the best thing, okay? That's my husband, okay? He played no games with me. He asked me what I wanted, and he made sure he made it happen. He was not playing with me, okay? I tell people that all the time. He was not playing. He still don't be playing with me about some things, some things I gotta do. I gotta change my last name, okay? He was like, you need to get on that, ma'am. You need to do what you need to do. But my husband does not play. He does not play about me. He does not play with me, okay? You two was listening to my conversation this morning. That softness in us, yes. So, yeah. That's what I have on that. Let me read the devotional again. Oh, this is good. It says, take one action today towards your purpose, whatever you believe that may be, but release the outcome to God. Do not be attached to the outcome, okay? Yes, like I said, see yourself married, see yourself married, but don't necessarily picture what your husband looks like, or not even the house that you may be living in. Because what if he decides that you need to live across the world because there's something he needs you to do over there? Like, don't get so caught up in that look. Just picture yourself married. And I always tell women who want to be married, start moving like a married woman. Now, I'm not saying, again, make sure you're not married, right? But start making decisions as if you were a married woman. Start thinking, okay, would my husband be cool if I did this type of thing? Would my husband be cool if I went and wild out this weekend? No, right? So start just thinking in those different ways. But let me go back and read the devotional for the day. Again, I apologize this was so long. Right, characteristics versus aesthetics. The man knew he wanted. Yes, he did. Day 6, the feminine heart, strength and softness, which is funny because he said he wasn't looking for a wife, but when he met me, he just was like, I gotta have her. She's gonna. He was like, I said to myself, she's gonna be my wife. She's gonna be mine. And I guess he knew what he was talking about. Anyway, the Bible verse is Esther 4:4. When Esther's maids and eunuchs came and told her about Mordecai, she was deeply distressed. The devotion is Esther showed compassion and tenderness, yet remained strong. She said, if I gotta die, I just gotta die. I'm gonna go before the king. Okay? That's some strength right there. Femininity balances gentleness with inner strength. So it is us balancing our strength and our softness, because they work together. They're both required in order for us to be feminine women. Affirmation: my strength is in my grace, wisdom, and kindness. Our action step: respond to a challenge today with patience instead of frustration. Remember, take a deep breath. Practice emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. Don't fly off at the handle because you have nothing to prove. You are the king's daughter, right? You don't need validation. You have faith in waiting. So you do not have to deal with things in frustration. Okay. Our journal prompt: how can you balance strength and softness in your daily life? So that's what I have for today. Well, I'll share some other stuff with y'all. But Dakira, you said you wanted to share something before we got off? Yeah, I've been on YouTube, like doing different things while Dakira's asking her question. I've been on YouTube doing different things, and I created a tip in for my Bible. Because that way I don't have to put my sticky notes, even though they're transparent, they're not as transparent as I would like. So I can stick my sticky notes on here, or you can just put a regular piece of paper, but this is just some scrapbook paper that I had. And then y'all, I got on YouTube because I was like, I need something to put my sticky notes in. And I made this envelope. I made it out of scrapbook paper. And I put my sticky notes in here and I just taped it to the back of my Bible. I'm going to have one of them real chunky, real filled Bibles. Y'all going to be like, when I pass this Bible on to my children, it's going to have all the jewels and gems and everything up and through here. And they're just going to be like, man, there's going to be so much wisdom in this Bible when I pass it to whoever takes it on. And that's how I think about things, right? You know, I'm always a memory-based person. You need a video, girl, I could share the video. But I've really just been on here. It's so many different things that I want to do in this Bible that I've been seeing, like for Bible journaling and stuff like that. Like I've been engrossed in that this weekend. Yes, my husband and I have this argument all the time. Tell me if it's full of it saying that we not equal. You're not. Let me you're not equal to your husband and you shouldn't want to be. That doesn't mean that you are not important, and there's not importance in the role that you play. But why would you want to be equal to a man? No. This is so nice. You should add that to your sticker collection. We would buy. I'm thinking about, I've seen some different things. I definitely want to add some bookmarks. So Dakira, and this is just me. Again, y'all know I'm not a Bible scholar or teacher. I just share what I feel and what I think I know from experience. God made us for man, right? He didn't make us separately. Man came out of the ground. And there's a reason for that, because they got to work that ground. They got to make things happen, right? But God, he made us from the rib of the man, right? He took that man's rib and he made a woman. He made a helpmeet, okay? We can't help each other if we're equal, okay? There's got to be strengths and weaknesses in both of us. Because why would you need my help if we know the same things, if we on the same level, if we doing the same stuff, right? You were made to be a helpmeet. You were made as the weaker sex, but that doesn't mean you lack strength, okay? That's not, we have to stop thinking just because they say that we're the weaker sex, that means that we're lacking something. That does not mean that we're lacking something. That just means that God provides strength from somewhere else, okay? You're not equal to a man. In my opinion, these are, again, my opinions. You're not equal to a man and you should not want to be. One thing that I read when I was studying femininity I have been hearing Esther since last week. I submitted to you. You should read my mind. My spouse is like king. Not surrender. Sometimes I look his reason for not to sin. No, that's not what God says. You're not any less valuable. You're valuable in unique ways. Absolutely. You still have to submit to your husband. You chose him, Miss Little Sarah. My mom would always say that. When I used to complain about my ex-husband, my mom would be like, "You picked him." and you did, and you picked him because you saw some good in him. And unless he gives you a biblical reason to move out of that marriage, you gotta submit. That's not what God says. Now, if he's telling you to do something that is not what God says to do, then definitely you can let him know, hey, God says I can't be doing this, because God don't want you to do that. But if he's telling you to do something, yeah. It just felt weird when he said it. No, and I don't know how the conversation went, but when I was studying femininity, I read a book. Well, I read a lot of books, but this particular book, they were talking about how men carry a burden that we don't have to carry all of our lives. And it may not seem that way, but they do. And, I'm all for sisterhood and everything, but I do think sometimes we can be more understanding of good men. We know the men that aren't good out there, but we can be more understanding of good men. Men that are providing, men that are protecting, men that are holding us up, right? That are choosing us and doing the right thing. Men always have to provide, okay? From when they become a man to the end of their life. They always got to provide a home, food, clothing, the needs, and sometimes the wants of the people that God entrusted them with. Women, yes, we do have roles that we will play out for the rest of our lives, but our biggest role is sometimes just to be, not just to be, but sometimes our biggest role is motherhood, right? Kids grow up and leave, right? I don't have to worry about Ryan Avery every day. I know I've instilled in her things that will get her through life. I don't have to worry about Bean every day. I don't have to worry about Reagan every day. Now, I'm still worried about that Riley in there, but, well, she's at school, but it'll come to a point where I don't have to worry about her. I don't have to worry about the twins all of the time. They will grow up. They will go off. They will learn things. They will fall. They will get up. And my job as a mother will be basically a guidance role rather than in the dirt, right? In the field. But my husband will still have to get out there and work and provide, even when he retires. I mean, that's still a thing that he has to do within retirement. And so men have different roles than women. And don't look at him saying that y'all are not equal as a bad thing. I would never want to have to worry about providing for my family in whatever way that is. This is not a conversation about 50-50. You do what's best for you and your household. But I do believe that, I don't know what this is on my sweater. I do believe that a man should be the primary provider. But that's my belief. But yeah, I would never want to have to worry about that for the rest of my life. Okay. Motherhood is enough. Wifehood is enough, right? You both bring value, but he's the leader in the head. Not saying you're beneath him. Absolutely. But you're his side, his helpmate. His helpmate. His helpmate. God made you from him. If he wanted, listen, if God wanted to make you from the ground, he could have did that too. And then I would say you was the equal, okay? But you're not his equal, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Oh, say that again, Miss Angie. You are also his favorite. Yes, because a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And then it says in the Bible that a man that does not take care of his family is worse than an infidel. And I think that's like a really bad homeless person. I don't know. But from my understanding, yes. I've been researching a while. So good. That is good, baby. You're going to be ready. You're going to be ready. But oh, and one last thing before we get off of here and y'all start y'all day. Yes, I'm loving the Bible. Thank you, Miss Malika, for the reminder. I made sure that I did that. But I did think of a name, and it came to me last night for possibly my. Basically, I wanted to, do my stickers, right? And then I have some other tools that I would like to provide, digital and physical products, right? And so I've been asking God, what should I call this if this is something that you're leading me to do? And last night, I think He gave it to me, and I really, really, really liked it. Yes, you are the prize. Yes. In your mind, you run. Men are the head, but the women are the neck. We hold great influence. And that's what Miss April is saying. We hold great influence. There are many things that you can influence your spouse on in good ways, not to be manipulative, but you hold great influence. So think of it that way. Okay? You hold great influence. If you ever feel like you are less than or anything like that, because I think him saying that you weren't equal made you feel like you were less than, and again, you are not less than him. But if you ever are feeling that way, just know you hold great influence. Think about all the women in the Bible that messed stuff up, okay? Because Samson and Delilah, what's her name? I know some stories. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but women are very, very powerful, very, very influential, okay? But I was thinking of a name, and so the name that came to me is Seasoned, Soft, and Set Apart. So I'm thinking that might be the name. I love sharing this with y'all. My husband was trying to be all in my business, so he was looking at what I was looking at last night, and he was like, seasoned, soft, and set apart. Okay, well, what does that mean? And, and so he was like, okay. He supports me in whatever I do. Okay. Yeah, Eve. Eve was the main person, right? She influenced Adam to eat the fruit. Okay. Kara, thank you for being transparent. You helping us. No apology. Oh yeah, don't say you sorry, girl. That's fine. SSS. Huh. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Loma. So yes, seasoned, soft, and set apart. Okay, seasoned, soft, and set apart. Because we are seasoned women. What that doesn't necessarily mean our age. It may mean just our experiences. God has seasoned us with different experiences throughout our life, and some of us age. For me, we are soft because we are feminine, right? God has allowed us to be soft as His daughters, and we are set apart, okay? We are set apart women. We are not of this world, okay? God has special things in store for us, so we are set apart in order to experience that in our life. So, yeah, I love that. And true to your brand season. Yes. And that's why I was like, oh, I kind of like that. Yeah. So anyway, I have had y'all on here for an hour. I'm sorry this session went so long, but obviously I needed it. So thank you, God, for that. I wish that you ladies, I intend and believe for you ladies to have an amazing, amazing week. Look how we started off our Monday. We have some tools that we can use in order to get through our week. And we can be feminine, but we can also be soft, right? I mean, we can be strong, but we can also be soft as feminine women. So I won't keep y'all any longer. Again, I pray and intend and believe for you to have an amazing Monday and an amazing rest of the week. I will see y'all on tomorrow, 7 a.m. Join late, but you're a blessing to go. Oh, thank you. You can watch the replay. Sorry this was so long. I guess I shouldn't apologize. This was long today, but it was much needed for myself as well. Yeah, have a great day. I'm feeling good today. I'm glad you're feeling well. I'm glad you are feeling good, as you should. We are blessed. We woke up this morning. Yeah, I got a little cold, but I'm here, baby. I'm here. Okay, I'm here doing my thing. Thank you, Miss Nisa, honey. And I think I am going to go live again on Saturday morning. We shall see. I will let y'all know. I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to drink some tea and I'll be all right. Thank you, Miss Malika. All right. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Bye.